Nia was a bright and kind-hearted girl living in the small town of Kimbali. She had a smile that could light up any room and a heart full of hope. But life wasn't always easy for her. After her father passed away, Nia had to live with her stepmother and stepsister. From the very beginning, Nia tried everything to win their love and acceptance. She helped with chores around the house, studied hard, and always tried to be polite and gentle, hoping they would see her as family. But no matter what she did, her stepmother and stepsister barely noticed her. They often ignored her or said hurtful things, making her feel like she didn't belong. Nia longed for even a small kind word or a smile from them. Sometimes she would stand in front of the mirror, hoping to see the brave girl she felt inside. Yet, every day she faced coldness and rejection, like a broken mirror reflecting a shattered dream. Despite the pain, Nia never stopped trying. She believed that maybe one day they would change and love her like family should. In the town of Kimbali, everyone who knew Nia admired her gentle spirit and kindness. People saw her as a shining light, always ready to help and care for others. But behind her warm smile, Nia carried the heavy weight of loneliness at home. Still, she held on to hope, dreaming that love could heal the cracks in her broken family. Zelina watched Nia closely, but not with kindness. Every time people in Kimbali praised Nia's beauty, her bright smile, or how smart and kind she was, a fire of jealousy grew inside Zelina's heart. She couldn't understand why everyone loved Nia so much when she felt invisible in her own home. Zelina tried to hide her feelings, wearing a fake smile that fooled everyone except Nia. But inside, she was boiling with anger and envy. Nia's success at school, the way neighbors greeted her warmly, and even small acts like children wanting to play with her made Zelina's jealousy worse. She kept asking herself, why not me? Why does she get all the love and attention? Zelina's heart grew colder every day, but she didn't say a word. Instead, she pretended to be friendly and polite, keeping her true feelings hidden behind a mask. In secret, Zelina started to plan. She wanted to stop Nia from shining so brightly. She thought if she could take away Nia's happiness, maybe then she would feel important again. But no one saw this dark side of Zelina, not even her own mother. She was good at hiding her jealousy, making it hard for anyone to suspect what she was really thinking. Despite Zelina's quiet plotting, Nia stayed kind and hopeful. She didn't understand why her stepsister acted this way, but still wished for peace between them. Little did Nia know, Zelina's jealousy was about to turn into something much darker, something that would change both their lives forever. One ordinary afternoon, Zelina called Nia into the kitchen. She said she needed help with cooking, and Nia, trusting her stepsister despite everything, quietly walked over to join her. Nia thought maybe this was the moment things could finally change. Maybe Zelina wanted to be kind, but she was wrong. As Nia stood close, Zelina's eyes were cold and full of hate. Without warning, Zelina grabbed a pot of boiling oil from the stove and threw it straight onto Nia's face. The burning pain was unbearable. Nia screamed, a sound filled with shock and agony that echoed through the small house. Her skin felt like it was on fire, and tears streamed down her face as everything around her started to blur and darken. She tried to run, but the pain held her still. The kitchen, once a place of warmth and food, turned into a place of pain and fear. Nia's heart broke as she looked for help, but her stepmother stood frozen and silent. She didn't move to stop Zelina or help Nia. It was like she didn't care at all. Nia's world changed in that terrible moment. The love and hope she had held onto were replaced by fear and confusion. Her face burned, but even more painful was the betrayal from the family she had wished to belong to. The girl who once smiled brightly now felt lost and broken, caught in a nightmare she couldn't wake up from. That day, everything that had seemed normal was shattered. Nia's pain was not just physical, it was a deep wound to her heart and soul. And yet, even in that darkest hour, a small spark inside her refused to go out. She didn't know it yet, but her life was about to change forever. After the horrible accident, Nia thought someone would come to her rescue. She hoped her stepmother or neighbors would help her, but instead, everything got worse. Her stepmother didn't call the police or take her to the hospital right away. No one came to protect her or ask what really happened. Instead, her stepmother blamed Nia for the burns, saying she was careless in the kitchen. Nia's cries were ignored. and she was locked inside the house, alone and scared. The pain from the burns was terrible, but what hurt even more was the coldness from the people who should have cared for her the most. Her stepmother and stepsister acted like nothing had happened, pretending everything was normal. Outside the house, rumors began to spread. People whispered that Nia had an accident while cooking, nothing more. No one knew the truth, and Nia's voice was silenced by lies and fear. She felt trapped, not just by the locked doors, but by the unfair blame placed on her. Her heart ached because she had tried so hard to be loved and accepted, but now she was left alone and blamed for something that wasn't her fault. The person who hurt her was hiding behind silence, while she suffered in pain and silence. In that lonely house, Nia realized that sometimes the people closest to you can hurt you the most. But deep down, even through the tears and fear, a small hope kept flickering inside her. Hope that one day someone would see the truth and help her find justice. One quiet night, as the town of Kimbali slept, Mama Rudo, a kind and caring neighbor, heard soft cries coming from Nia's house. The sounds were weak, but filled with pain and fear. Mama Rudo's heart ached. She knew something was terribly wrong. Without thinking twice, she hurried to the door and knocked, but no one answered. The cries continued and Mama Rudo's worry grew stronger. Determined to help, she found a way inside, quietly opening a window and stepping into the dark house. Inside, she saw Nia lying on the floor, her face and hands badly burned, her body weak and trembling. Nia's eyes opened slowly, filled with shock and sadness. Mama Rudo gently wrapped a blanket around her and whispered comforting words, promising she was there to help. Without delay, Mama Rudo carried Nia out of the house and took her straight to the hospital. The doctors were shocked at the injuries, but thanks to Mama Rudo's quick action, Nia began to get the care she desperately needed. For the first time in a long while, Nia felt safe and cared for. Mama Rudo didn't stop there. She became Nia's guardian angel, visiting her often, holding her hand, and reminding her that she was not alone. She listened to Nia's fears and hopes, giving her the strength to face the hard days ahead. In the darkest moment of her life, Nia found light through Mama Rudo's kindness. This brave neighbor's love and courage became the first step on Nia's long journey to healing. It was a reminder that even when the world feels cruel, there are still good people ready to stand up and fight for what is right. Mama Rudo's kindness saved Nia's life. Not just her body, but her spirit too. And from that night forward, Nia began to believe that maybe, just maybe, she could find hope again. Months went by, and Nia's body slowly began to heal. But the scars she carried were more than just on her skin. The burns left her physically weak and in pain, and her heart was heavy with sadness and fear. Every day was a struggle, with painful treatments and surgeries that seemed never-ending. Sometimes she felt like giving up, but deep inside, Nia found a strength she didn't know she had. Instead of hiding away, she decided to share her story with the world. She started posting about her journey online, the pain, the fear, but also her hope and courage. Her words were honest and raw, and soon, people across Africa began to listen. Messages of support and love poured in from strangers who admired her bravery. Many shared their own struggles, telling Nia that her story gave them hope. Nia realized she was not alone, and neither were the thousands of others who faced pain and hardship. Her scars, once a source of shame, became a symbol of strength and survival. With every post, Nia grew stronger. She inspired others to speak up about their own battles and to never lose hope, no matter how hard life gets. Her voice became a powerful light, shining through the darkness, not just for herself, but for everyone who needed encouragement. Though the road ahead was still hard, Nia's courage to share her story changed her life and the lives of many others. She was no longer just a girl with scars. She was a symbol of hope, reminding the world that even after the deepest pain, strength can rise. Nia's story did not stay hidden for long. One day, a human rights group heard about what happened to her. They decided to help by sharing her story with the world. Suddenly, the news spread like wildfire. People everywhere were shocked and saddened by what Nia had endured. Reporters came to Kimbali, cameras flashed, and newspapers told Nia's story to the nation. The kind and brave girl who had been hurt so badly became a symbol of courage and hope. The more people learned about her, the louder their voices grew, demanding justice for Nia. Under pressure from the public and the media, the police finally took action. Zelina and her stepmother were arrested and charged with attempted murder and child abuse. The whole country watched as the truth came out. For the first time, Nia's pain was recognized, and the people who had hurt her had to face the consequences. It wasn't just about punishment, it was about standing up for what is right. The arrests sent a powerful message. No one should be allowed to hurt a child and get away with it. Nia's courage and the support of those who believed in her helped bring light to a dark and painful story. As the trial began, many people followed every detail, hoping to see justice done. Nia, though still healing, knew this was a victory not just for her, but for every child who suffered in silence. The nation stood with her, united in the belief that love and truth would win over cruelty and silence. Through pain, bravery, and the power of truth, justice finally found its way to Nia's doorstep, and with it, hope for a better future. Even though Nia's scars were visible and painful reminders of what she had been through, she refused to let them define her. Instead of hiding away, she chose to stand tall and share her story with the world. She became a public speaker, traveling to schools, community centers, and events to talk about her journey and inspire others who had faced hard times. People listened closely when Nia spoke. Her words were powerful and full of hope. She didn't just talk about pain, she talked about strength, courage, and the power of never giving up. Many burn survivors found comfort in her story, feeling less alone because Nia showed them it was possible to heal, not just in body, but in spirit. As her story spread, brands and organizations began to notice her. They wanted to support her mission to help burn survivors and raise awareness about their struggles. Sponsorships followed, allowing Nia to reach even more people and continue her work without worry about money or resources. Schools invited her to speak to students, not just about burn injuries, but about kindness, resilience, and the importance of standing up for yourself and others. Her talks were filled with emotion and hope, inspiring young people to be brave in the face of their own challenges. Nia became more than just a survivor. She became a symbol of strength for many. The girl who had once been hurt and hidden away was now shining brightly, showing the world what it means to rise again after falling. Her courage helped change how people saw burn survivors, not as victims, but as fighters full of hope and possibility. Nia's journey was a reminder that scars don't mark the end of a story. They can be the beginning of something beautiful, a story of courage, love, and the power to inspire the world. Zelina, who was once so focused on beauty and jealous of Nia, now finds herself trapped in a very different place, behind bars. The girl who hid her hatred behind fake smiles is now forgotten by most people. The anger and bitterness inside her grew as the days passed in the cold, lonely prison. She is left to think about the choices she made and the pain she caused. While Zelina's world grew smaller and darker, Nia's story reached far and wide. Writers and filmmakers were inspired by her courage and strength. They turned her journey into a book and a documentary, sharing her message with even more people. Through these stories, Nia's voice grew louder, touching hearts across the country and beyond. People who watched the documentary saw not just a girl who suffered, but a young woman who fought back with hope and bravery. Her story became a powerful reminder that even in the worst situations, people can find light and strength to rise again. Zelina's prison walls may hold her body, but Nia's spirit is free, inspiring others every day. The bitter jealousy that once destroyed Zelina's heart only made Nia's courage shine brighter. In the end, while Zelina fades into the shadows of her own making, Nia's story lives on, a symbol of hope, resilience, and the power of a brave heart to overcome even the darkest times. At the end of her powerful TED Talk, Nia looked out at the audience with calm confidence. She took a deep breath and shared the words that had carried her through the hardest times. My scars were supposed to end me. Instead, they introduced me to the world. The room was silent for a moment, feeling the weight of her message. Then, the crowd rose to their feet, clapping and cheering. They weren't just applauding a speech. They were honoring a young woman who had faced pain, betrayal, and fear, yet chose to stand tall and inspire millions. Nia's scars told a story of survival, courage, and hope. They showed that even when life tries to break you, it can't stop you from shining. The girl who was once hurt and hidden away had become a symbol of strength and resilience that people everywhere would never forget. Her story touched hearts, not just in her hometown or country, but all over the world. People shared her words, found hope in her journey, and learned that scars don't mark the end. They can be the start of something powerful and beautiful. Nia's message was clear. No matter what life throws at you, you can rise again and show the world who you really are. The girl they tried to destroy had become a light shining far beyond what anyone imagined. And that night, everyone knew her name, a name that would inspire generations to come.